Om Sai Ram. Welcome to Living Spiritually. This is a story of Das Ganu Maharaj, how his problem was solved by a maid. Das Ganu fully trusted Baba's words. He left Shirdi and came to Ville Parle, a suburb of Bombay, and stayed with Kaka Sahib Dikshit. The next day, when Das Ganu was enjoying a nap, some say when he was engaged in worship, he heard a poor girl singing a beautiful song in a clear and melodious voice. The subject matter of the song was a crimson colored sari. How nice it was, how fine its embroidery was, how beautiful its ends and borders were, etc. He liked the song so much that he came out of his room and saw that it was being sung by a young girl, the sister of a servant of Kaka Sahib's. The girl was cleaning vessels and only had a torn rag on her person. On seeing her impoverished condition and her jovial temperament, Das Ganu felt pity on her, and when Rao Bahadur M.V. Pradhan gave him a pair of dhotas the next day, he requested Mr. Pradhan to give the poor little girl a sari. Rao Bahadur bought a good sari and presented it to her. Like a starving person getting good dishes to eat, her joy knew no bounds. The next day, she wore the new sari and with great joy and merriment whirled, danced, and played with other girls. The following day, she kept the new sari in her box at home and came with the old and torn rags. But she looked just as merry as she did the previous day. On seeing this, Das Ganu's pity was transformed into admiration. He thought that since the girl was poor, she had to wear a torn rag, but now she had a new sari which she kept in reserve, and despite wearing the old rag, showed no trace of sorrow or dejection. Thus he realized that all our feelings of pain and pleasure depend upon the attitude of our mind. On thinking deeply about this incident, he realized that man ought to enjoy whatever God has bestowed on him with the firm conviction that God besets him on all sides and that whatever is bestowed on him by God must be for his good. In this particular case, the impoverished condition of the poor girl, her torn rag, the new sari, the donor, and the acceptance were all pervaded by the Lord. Hence, Das Ganu got a practical demonstration of the lesson of the Upanishad, the lesson of contentment with one's own lot, in the belief that whatever happens is ordained by God and is ultimately good for us. From this above incident, we come to know that Baba's method was unique and varied. Though Baba never left Shirdi, he sent some to Machindaragad, Kolhapur or Sholapur to practice the sadhanas. To some, he appeared in the usual form, while to others, he appeared when they were awake or dreaming and satisfied their desires. It is impossible to describe all the methods that Baba used in imparting instruction to his devotees. In this particular case, he sent Das Ganu to Ville Parle, where he solved Das Ganu's problem through the maid's sister. To those who say that it was not necessary to send Das Ganu to Ville Parle and that Baba could have personally taught him, we say that Baba followed the best course. How else could Das Ganu have learned such a great lesson? How could he have learned that the poor maid and the sari were pervaded by the Lord in such a practical way? Om Sai Ram, Om Satchidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai.